Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brex of Bando, and I thought I'd just go over these Warhammer Plus miniatures, because I've not talked about them yet. So, for those of you who don't know, Warhammer Plus is Games Workshop's subscription TV kind of app thing, which is a whole kettle of fish that we could go over at a different point. But basically it's got some cartoon sort of animations on it, and it's got old books, it's got battle reports, videos for, tutorials, that sort of thing. Could be an absolutely phenomenal service. Isn't really being given the love it needs at the moment by Games Workshop. But when you subscribe for this, you do get a miniature if you subscribe for a whole year. And this year is you get to choose between this Cascrin model, Sergeant Morton or something like that, I think it is, which is obviously based on this classic piece of, I believe it's 3rd or 4th edition artwork. I think it might be 4th edition. But I do remember getting this. I was at school when this came out. I painted this camo pattern on all my Cadians. They had black undersuits, and then I painted this camo pattern. And I loved this piece of artwork. I thought this and the other one that goes with it were just so cool. It's Karl Kopinski, and it gave this real kind of grounded sense of realism to the 41st millennium, and it just looked like this is a real person who is, a real human fighting in a technologically advanced world, and I loved it. And I thought this just looked so cool. And the model they've got's pretty good. Sure, he's tactical rock and he's not quite the same pose, and the painting on the face isn't great. But all in all, this is actually a really nice model. I actually quite like this. It's a pity that this isn't a regularly available model. That's the only real complaint I have about it. The gaps on the grenades, the fragmentation pattern, that's another one. That's looking huge. If you look back at Games Workshop's models, the grenades, they've never had a problem with grenades. This looks worse than hand-sculpted stuff. Same with these grenades, they look kind of wonky. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But pose-wise, I don't have a problem with the tactical rock. It's a good pose. It's a nice model. But it's not worth the amount of money they want for a Warhammer Plus subscription. At all. Nowhere close. This is a bog standard Cascrin Sergeant. This guy should have been available as like an event exclusive miniature in a blister pack for like a tenner tops. And that's pushing it. Carlina von Karstein. I did call it that it was going to be a von Karstein. I thought it was going to be Isabella because I thought this was going to be really big hair. It's a good model again. I'm not sure I like the helmet. I don't know. It's a good generic armoured vampire. I can't complain about that. The base is good. The extra details are good. There's lots of flowing robes, which means it's going to be really nice to paint. The painting on these robes is really rough. Like, it almost looks like these guys were painted really quickly. Like, they maybe didn't have that much time to get them painted before they needed to be photographed. I'm not a fan of the skin tone. That's a personal preference thing. I'm also not a fan of the use of blue. Blue is a very cold colour, but I don't think it fits for vampires, particularly. I think there are better colours to use. Blue in Warhammer Fantasy has always been more of a colour that is associated with the good races, the dwarves, the elves, the Empire. So these should have been red. You can do a cold red, purples, that sort of thing. But it's a nice model. Depending on how it goes together, this would be a nice one to pick up for like a generic vampire or like a D&D character, that sort of thing. If I was to get it, I'd probably swap out the head if possible. Give it just a bare head, nice long flowing hair, sort of thing, Malice Darkblade looking sort of thing. yeah, it's good. I like it. It's a nice model. I mean, that's cool. 20% off merchandise is an extra bonus. I've always thought that should be something that you get as a Warhammer Plus subscriber, is a discount code to use that's like linked to your account and your address. So it's like, hey, you want to buy Games Workshop products from us, you can get a 20% discount, which basically matches what you'd be paying to get them from third-party retailers, but have it applied to like the web-only stuff as well. I mean, that would be a huge incentive for people to get a Warhammer Plus, subscription. I would pick up a Warhammer Plus subscription for a year for that, simply just to order basically every single web exclusive model that I want, because there's so many of them that I really, really want. Loads of them gone now. Loads of the old Inquisition stuff like was all web only. And absolutely, I'd get that. The big issue here is that Warhammer Plus does not seem to be delivering on what it's promising. This season that has just gone promised to get Pariah Nexus to us, and yet we haven't had it. We've not had a word on where Astartes 2 has come. The quality of the animation simply is not good enough, just to put it bluntly. All of it should have been put... If it was put on YouTube, Games Workshop would have a phenomenally popular YouTube channel. They'd be making a fortune off that, absolutely. But as its own standalone streaming service and app, etc., Warhammer Plus, in my opinion, is a bit of a failure. So yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to get these. I certainly wouldn't be paying scalper prices on eBay for them. I will wait a year or two, and certain people in the Far East will most definitely have access to these as they do the other ones. Yeah, I do like them. They're both good models. They're just models that should be available all the time and not with such a high price point. So I hope that's a bit more of a cheery video. I know a couple of people got a bit antsy about me being kind of miserable in the last video. I've been in a lot of pain recently. Problem with me is I'm very resistant to painkillers, so I have to take a lot of them, which means I then stop taking them because I don't want to do myself a mischief. So yeah, that's it. I may stream later today. I don't know what time. I've not even eaten today, and it's 1 o'clock or 1:30. So I do need to go off and actually eat something today. So yeah, that's it. That's me for the moment. My name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. You have a great day. Bye bye.